Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another tipping video. Well, I won't be actually tipping in this video. I'll be going through what happened for the final round of the season, round 23. But today I will not be going. I will not be doing my predictions for the finals. I'll be doing that next week. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's get straight into it. So first game, I streamed it. Melbourne versus Brisbane. What a win by the D's, sent a warning to the competition that they are a big finals threat, securing a home qualifying final. It was not a good one to watch if you're a Brisbane fan. They were absolutely terrible, and well, they also had Will Fox had to come in, and yeah, it's just an off game for Brisbane. One of the worst games I've seen them probably play this season. They really need to get better, Brisbane. Um, Going into the finals now with a home elimination final. They're pretty lucky to have that. I'm not sure if they deserve it, but they are quite lucky to have that. They'll be versing Richmond. But yeah, what a win by Melbourne. I tipped them by 3 points, so yeah, it was definitely a weird margin. And my big call was originally Jordan and Sparrow, but I changed it because Jordan was out. Spargo and Sparrow combined for 50 touches and 2 goals. That was a fail. Next game was GWS versus Freo. This was an interesting game. GWS didn't really control the game as much as I thought with kick marks. It was an interesting one. GWS end off their season with a very, very tight game. I thought they were going to hold on there, the Giants, but Freo just too good. They had to get that win. They did, and now they've got a home elimination final against the Western Bulldogs as well. That'll be an interesting one to watch, that's for sure. And yeah, I did tip them by 18. They won by 20, so not bad. My big calls for the lead never go beyond 26, and I think GWS were leading by 31 at some stage, so it was a fail. But that was an interesting one to watch, that game. Next one, I did not watch North Melbourne versus Gold Coast. What I hear was North Melbourne. They were okay, but they weren't amazing. Like, it's just been the story of their season. Hopefully Clarkson can change them next season because they are an absolute mess and they've ended off a season with a big loss. I thought they'll actually put up a challenge for this one, but no, they did get smashed. Alex Sexton, what a return to football he was. I think that's his first proper game. Like, I think he's played medical sub a couple times, but 6 goals. Like, it shows you that they have to play him more often. And it shows you that if Isaac Rankin does go, they do have coverage. Because Isaac Rankin, in my opinion, I think he is going to go to Adelaide. That's just my opinion, though. My big calls for Chol and Larky to combine for 9 or more goals. Chol kicked 3-4 behinds, and Larky kicked 1, so that was not a very, very good one for me. Next one was Geelong versus West Coast. I did not watch this, and I did not watch it for a reason. Look what just happened. West Coast, like, they couldn't have ended their season off any worse. Like, I did tip them by 132 Geelong, but 85 points is still a big win. Minor premiership, locked in the home qualifying final. Doesn't really matter though about the home thing because it will be at the MCG. Like, they can't have it at GHMBA, and they'll be versing the mighty Collingwood Football Club. It's going to be a very, very interesting one, that's for sure. My big call was for the Cats to have 15 or more individual goal scorers for this one, but that was a fail. Good to see Dangerfield plays 300 as well. West Coast just shocking. I couldn't even think of anything to say about them. Essendon. I thought they were good in the first half, in my opinion, but the second half, what a smashing. Richmond head into the finals with, in my opinion, them, Sydney and Geelong are going into the finals with the best form, and they are a ripping chance to beat Brisbane in that away elimination final. And he's at the Gabba though, they've got to be careful. But yeah, well done to Richmond. That was a very, very good win. 66-point win in the end. I tipped them by 78, so not bad. Yeah, they were very good in Michael Hurley's last game. Good to see him kick a late goal. Even the Richmond fans got to him. That's just such a great sight to see. Like, that's probably the best sight you're going to see in the AFL, and Cumberland and Lynch to combine for 10 or more goals. It looked like it at one stage. Lynch kicked 5, Cumberland kicked 3, then Lynch went out of the game and Cumberland had a quiet last term. So, yeah, just didn't quite get it for me. But that would have been a big one to get. And then the showdown. I was actually watching both games, if you didn't really know, but I was watching this one. Port Adelaide, like, what a second half. Well, really, what a game. Like, it was very feisty, this one, in Robbie Gray's last game. He did play quite a good game, and they won at 56 points. They were definitely doing it for him in this one. And Adelaide, well, I thought they were going to go in and maybe win this game and head into the home, like the pre-season for next season with confidence, winning 4 games. So I still reckon Adelaide are going to be good next year. Just an off performance, in my opinion. Even Rory Laird had an off game, and you don't normally see that. So Port Adelaide were fully in control. Connor Rosie, though, how good was he taking out the showdown medal? He is 100% All-Australian, and he's probably in the top 10 for the Brownlow. He's been amazing. Big calls for Port are leading for the entire game, but there was a stage where Adelaide were leading in the first quarter quite early on. So, yeah, not quite. And then we come down to the final day of the season, and what a heartbreaking one it was, and what a amazing one it was for some teams. Jay, it was really, really, really big, this final day of the round. Yeah, you never normally see this anyway. Bulldogs versus Hawthorn. I tipped Hawthorn in this one. I'm pissed off I didn't tip the Dogs. They were quite good. They were quite clutch when they had to be the Dogs. We don't normally see that from them, but they brought out a clutch performance against the Hawks. They were down for quite a long period of that game, and I knew Hawthorn were going to bring a fight for Ben McAvoy for his last game, and they definitely did. They were very, very close to winning that game, the Hawks. Yeah, well done to the Dogs. That was a very, very important win. Yeah. My big call was for Hawks to lose every change except the last, and that was a fail. So at this stage, the Dogs were in the 8 just because of percentage. So it meant the Blues had to win or draw. And then we saw one of the best comebacks and another Pies thriller. Collingwood win by 1 point. Jamie Elliott steals the hearts of the Western Bulldogs fans. They win it by a point, and I actually tipped us by a point, so I get a bonus point. So let's go. Up the Pies. I wasn't expecting that to happen. And this was originally Cripps, Kennedy, and Walsh, but I did change it last minute to Sard and to Chera. Cripps, Sard and Chera combined for 380 plus fantasy points. They combined for a total of 291. So close, but Carlton fans, they were playing some great football, and they just couldn't get it done, and now they're not playing finals. It just hurts to see. Even as a Collingwood fan, I am actually gutted for the Blues. It is really, really sad. Anyways, St Kilda and Sydney for the final game of the season, and the Saints ended off their season a very poor second half of the season, that's for sure, with an interesting game against the Swans. They weren't bad in that last term. They came back, they nearly won. It was only a 14-point win, which meant that Sydney didn't get their percentage. They needed to lock in a home qualifying final, which means they won't be as dangerous in the finals. So well done, St Kilda. I'm very happy about that. Because Sydney beat us last week, I'm not a big fan of Sydney at the moment. I mean, before last week, I would have preferred Sydney over St Kilda. But at the moment, I prefer St Kilda over Sydney now. Like, Sydney have dropped down a couple of placings. At the moment, I'm not liking Sydney at all. And now, Melbourne have a home qualifying final against them. So fingers crossed that the D's can win that. Send them into an elimination final. Why not? Yeah, my big call is for the Swans to come back from behind at 3/4 time and win, and that was a fail. So I got 0 to 9 for my big call. So lucky I got that bonus point I really, really needed. and I got 8 out of 9 for my tips. So close to fully getting a 9. So close. But anyways, thanks you enjoyed the video. That was it. That was the final round of the season. It was an absolute heartbreak for Blues fans and an absolute joy for Dogs fans. I don't know how they're in the 8, but let's just say I don't think they're going to be in there for much longer. Anyway, see ya guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for my finals predictions next Monday.